So we last left off with the Sharpening Pro 1K, and I was just about done with that. I finished up off camera, and now we're going to be moving on to the Chocera 3K. Go ahead and take my little piece of natural stone here and make a little slurry on the surface. It's probably going to make it pretty muddy anyways, but sometimes this helps out to get things going nice and smoothly. As I'm moving back, I'm also tilting the spine up. So if I'm going this way, tilting up on the spine like that, and that's smoothing out the geometry a little bit. Alright, we can already see a big difference in the blade, side to side. Now, my first experience with the Chocera stones was all in the based version with the plastic base on them, and this is my first time using them baseless. And this Chocera 3000 was one of the ones that I really liked out of the whole line because it was very hard and it kind of polished well, especially on folding knives. That's kind of why I really liked it. But this one here is still very hard, but it seems to be a little bit more muddy and maybe a little bit more abrasive. I did hear at one point that Nanawa was possibly putting a little more abrasive in these, and I don't know if that had happened or if it's just with this baseless line, but the stone's definitely a little bit different than what I remembered. See, starting to shine it up well. this side too. They work a little bit more. Flush the stone a little bit. This side for a little bit. Both sides up pretty well here. Getting real close to being done with this one. And I'm going to test out my Sharpening Pro 5K today. Haven't used it yet for a sharpening like this, so figured I'd give it a spin. And it should follow real nicely after this 3K Chaucera. What I'm doing right now is making sure all my upper grind lines and all the lines are smooth and flowing in and defined, because this is the last point right here. This stone actually has enough cutting power to make sure all that stuff lines up before I move on to the polishing. It's one of the main reasons I like this stone so much, is because there's the toughest thing to overcome in sharpening is bridging the gaps between stones, and sometimes it's real difficult for one stone to remove another stone's scratches. And the point when you move from your medium to your fine stones, there's always a gap in those stones, usually 1K to 4K, 1K 5K, 1K 6K. And with the Chaucera 3K, it has such great cutting power that it makes it easy to jump to higher grit stones and not have the flaws of left behind scratch marks from 1K or like stones. This is the Shapton Pro 5K, and just going to clean it up here a little bit. Now with this stone, I like to use a little piece of natural stone here, or you could use a natural Nagara stone. But diamond plate slurry on this doesn't seem to be very effective. I don't know what it is with this, but the slurry of the stone alone doesn't seem to really do as well. Alright, here we go. Performing a lot like the Chaucer did. It usually loads a lot. It's not loading as much as normal. Definitely changing the level of polish there. Very nice. I don't know if you can see the difference in the two grind directions. The angular direction I just did there versus the back and forth. It's still down here at the edge. You can see how just the changing of direction as you grind can bring out a higher definition. Stone is still loading a little bit, but it's definitely doing what I want it to. about done with that stage of the sharpening. As you can see, we have a very polished bevel, and how's the actual edge doing there? Alright, so hopefully you can get a pretty good view of that right there. It's a full convex done on stones. Just to show you. Alrighty, on to video 3.